Trust takes time. Let me tell you, trust is not built in the scroll. Trust is built when you can make people stay. Now imagine this, that you walk into a coffee shop and a stranger runs up to you and says, "Hey, you should trust me. Buy my thing. It'll change your life. Follow me. Click this." Right? You would do what any normal person would do, is that you would protect your latte and you would slowly back away. Now imagine something different. Every Tuesday morning, you hear the same voice while you drive to work. That person talks to you while you're at the gym. They keep you company on your walk, and they make you laugh when you're stuck in traffic. After a few weeks, something begins to change, and that is you start to feel like you know that person. And that's not because they shouted louder. It's not because they posted more on social media. It's not because they used some trendy sound and started dancing with all of these different captions. No, you trust them because they stayed with you and you stayed with them. And that is the difference. You see, trust is not built in the scroll. Trust is built when they stay. Today, I want to talk to you about why people trust the voices that they hear every week more than the post that they see for a few seconds. And there are three things that we need to understand. First, time creates trust. Second, platform shape behavior. And third, voice builds closeness. That's it. Time, platforms, voice. And yes, I know that sounds like the world's least exciting thing that you want to hear right now, but stay with me. Because if you're trying to build a brand, grow a business, share an idea, or lead a movement, or simply just be remembered, this matters, and it matters a lot. Now let's start with the first one. Time creates trust. We all know that trust takes time in real life. You don't meet somebody once at a party, hear them say one clever little thing, and say, "I'll let this person babysit my children," or give them my bank password. No. Trust builds slowly. It builds through repeated contact, through tone, through small moments, through the feeling that someone is just not trying to grab you or grab your money and disappear. This is why long-form content hits differently. A podcast listener may stay with you 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes longer. A TikTok or a reel gets you 4 to 12 seconds. Now, that's not a small difference. That is a difference between waving at someone across the street and sitting next to them in dinner. Big difference. Now, at dinner is where the trust happens. Not always a fancy dinner. Sometimes it's drive-through fries in the car, right? But it must happen, and that counts. But the point is simple. The more time people spend with you, the more room there is for trust to grow. 8 seconds, I can notice you, but at 8 minutes, I can know you. This is a very different thing. Trust is not built on the scroll. Trust is built when they stay. Now, I'll be fair that short form content is powerful. It's the new thing. That is, it can get attention fast. It can make somebody laugh. It can introduce somebody to an idea. It can help people discover you. A 10-second video can open the door, but it can't build the whole house. And that is where many people get stuck. They confuse attention with trust. They think, people saw my video, people liked my post, people viewed my story, so people must trust me. That's not the case. Attention is a spark, but trust is a fire. And that is, sparks may be exciting. We love sparks. Sparks gets comments like, "So true, needed this, yeah, amen, blah, blah, blah." But a fire is what keeps people warm. And a fire is what makes people comfortable to stay. You see, a fire is what makes someone think that I can believe this person and I want to hear. You see, the villain in here is not the short attention spans or TikTok or Instagram. It's not people making quick videos. The villain is the system of speed, the system that trains us to move on before anything can actually sink in, the system that says be faster and shorter and louder and more shocking, be everywhere. And then we wonder why people feel less connected. Am I right? I am right. I know it. I feel it. And you probably feel it. That is, we're trying to build deep trust inside of platforms designed for quick reaction. And that is like trying to have a heart-to-heart conversation in the middle of a car alarm. Possible? Maybe. Ideal? That brings us to the second idea. Platforms shape behavior. Now, social platforms are built around speed. And that is swipe, tap, like, move on, skip. Like all of this stuff happens very, very fast. And people are just next, next, next. This whole design says don't stay too long. And to be clear, this design works. It's brilliant because it's addictive. But it's also not built to create depth. It's built for motion. Think about it the way we consume short form content. You might see a video about a business trip, then a dog wearing sunglasses, then someone making pasta in a hotel room, then a person crying in their car, then a man explaining the economy and all of this different stuff, right? Then another dog. Because the internet knows one thing about us. We are only emotionally stable if there's another dog coming soon, or cat, if you're a cat lover. But what happens to trust in that environment? It gets all chopped up. And that is, people may like you, they may enjoy you, they may remember like one sentence that you said, but then you're competing with 1,000 other voices in the same minute. And most of them are louder, fancier, faster, and all of that. This is the game that we're playing. And when the game is built around speed, everyone starts acting faster than they really are. People cut out pauses. They over-polish every single line. They chase the trends, and they try to sound certain, even when the truth is more human than perfect. But trust needs space, breath. Trust needs enough time for someone to think, okay, I see how this person thinks. Not just what they say, how they think. That is where the credibility lies. I'll give you a simple story. A friend once told me that she followed a business coach online. She liked the post. The graphics were nice. The captions were sharp. The advice, it was fine. But she never bought anything. And then one day she listened to that same person on a podcast while driving home. Wasn't any big production, no perfect lighting, no dramatic hook. Just a voice, a story, and a real explanation of how they solved the problem. And about 12 minutes in, my friend said out loud in her car, "Oh, I get them now." And that was the moment. Not the perfect post, not the viral clip, not the carousel with 19 slides and all of this different stuff. It was time. It was the voice. And it was the feeling of being with someone long enough to understand them. And after that, she joined the email list. And then guess what? She booked the call. And then she became a client. This is how the magic of podcasting works. It's trust. And trust had finally been given enough room to do its job. Now, this is the part that we forget. We keep asking, how do I get more people to see me? But the better question is how do I get the right people to stay with me? Because staying changes everything. Now, let's talk about the third idea here, that voice builds closeness. You see, there's something deeply personal about hearing someone's voice. A voice carries more than words. It carries mood. It carries their energy, their warmth, their personality. It carries their doubts or it carries their confidence. Through their voice, they can show that this person actually cares. You can actually hear when somebody is smiling. You can hear when they mean it. And you can hear when they're trying way too hard. And yes, you can hear when someone is reading a script that they have absolutely no connection to. See, voice is human. And that's why podcasts feel so intimate. People listen while doing ordinary life. They listen while driving, walking, cleaning, cooking, waiting, working out. And you're not just on a screen, you're in between their ears, which is the most intimate place. And when you are in someone's ears, you become part of their private world. Let me tell you, this is not a small thing. You see, a post is something that people see like half paying attention. They're watching TV, they're doing all of these other things. Audio is different. Audio feels like you're in their company and in their presence. And it feels like you're in their world in a conversation. It can feel like somebody saying, I'm here with you right now. This is why the know, like, and trust factor is easier to build through podcasting. They hear your rhythm. They understand your values. They hear the way that you explain things. They hear what you repeat over and over again. And they begin to recognize your repetition. And that recognition becomes comfortable. And comfort, that equals trust. But here's where we need to be careful. And that is, this does not mean that everyone should stop posting short videos and start a podcast tomorrow. Please do not hear that. But the world does not need 40 million new podcasts named Unfiltered Conversations in this world right now. Okay. Short form content has its place. It's the handshake. It's the doorway. It's the first hello. But it should not be your whole strategy, and it's not your whole relationship, because no one builds trust by saying hello. Imagine a friendship where the only thing you ever said to each other was, hey. And every day for 3 years, all you said is, hey. Eventually, someone has to say, so are we going to talk about anything else? This is what happens with long form content. A short post can introduce you. A clip can make people curious. A reel can give them a reason to pause. But long-form content gives them a reason to believe and to trust in you. Okay? So the reframe is this. Stop thinking of content as a race for attention and start thinking of content as a pathway to trust. The goal is not just to be seen. The goal is to be understood. And to be understood takes longer than 8 seconds. And you know exactly what I mean. This is why the best content strategy is not short versus long. It's short leading to long. Attention leading to relationship. Discovery leading to depth. The clip gets them to notice. The long conversation helps them stay. And staying is where trust is built. Now, here's another story for you. Now, imagine a small business owner named Scott. Scott sells a service that helps people organize their homes. And at first, he posts quick tips. 3 ways to clean your closet. 5 things to throw away today. How to fold towels so your linen closet looks like a hotel. Which, by the way, would be pretty amazing. Nobody's linen closet looks like a hotel. It looks like a freak show. So the short form videos do well, and people like them, and they save them. They comment, I needed this, blah, blah, blah. But there's nobody hiring them. And then Scott starts sharing longer audio episodes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, simple topics. Wow. Why clutter makes decisions harder, how to organize when you feel overwhelmed. Why the goal is not a perfect home, but a home that supports your lifestyle. And of course, something begins to change, and that is people start messaging him differently. Not just great tip, but they say, I felt like you were talking to me. And they say, I listened while I was working out, cleaning my garage, right? And then they said, I finally understood why I was avoiding this. And that's trust. The short videos showed the skill, the long voice showed the heart. And people buy from both. People need to know that you can actually help them, but they also need to feel safe in letting you do so. And to do that, they have to trust you. And this is how long form content works. So what do we do with this? Here is the practical call to action, and that is build a trust ladder. At the bottom, you have short form content, quick post, short videos, super simple ideas. And these create discoverability. And that is that they help people find you. In the middle, you have deeper content, that is podcast, long form videos, live conversations, long form copy, emails, workshops. Now these create understanding. And at the top, you have the action, and that is the purchase, the jumping on the calendar, the referral, the partnership, all of the things that come after trust is established. You see, people rarely jump from discovery to action. They need a middle step, and they need time, and they need context. They need to hear about you and how you think. So don't just ask, what can I post today? Ask, where can I invite people to stay with me for a while? Maybe that is a podcast. Maybe that's a weekly long form. Maybe it's a YouTube channel. Maybe it's an email that really, really connects with people. Maybe it's a blog. Now, the format can change, but the principle does not change. And that is, give people a place to spend more time with your ideas. Give them a place where they can hear your voice. Give them a place where trust can actually begin to grow. Because in a world that is obsessed with being quick, depth is rare. And when depth becomes rare, it becomes really, really... You see, the future of trust will not belong to the loudest voice. It will belong to the voice that people return to. That matters for creators. It matters for business owners. It matters for leaders. It matters for anyone trying to share something in this world that is filled with noise. Because we're all tired. We're tired of people grabbing our attention. We're tired of being hacked. We're tired of being treated like attention machines. We don't just want more content. We want connection. And we want voices that we can actually believe in. We want people who take time to be useful, to be clear, and to be human. So yeah, make the short post, share the clips, use the platforms, but don't confuse a glance with a relationship. Don't confuse a like with a love. Don't confuse a view with somebody that trusts you. There's a big difference. You see, the scroll, that can start something, but the stay is what changes everything. Trust is not built in the scroll. Trust is built when people stay. And the people who understand that will build more than audiences. They will build relationships. They will build loyalty, and they will build communities that last longer than the next trend. Because the future, it doesn't need more noise. It needs more voices that are worth staying for. So you can be that voice today. See you on the next one. Peace.